Item. SCP-430. Object Class. Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-430 is to be kept in a humanoid containment cell on Site-17. Placed on a wooden pallet or equivalent loose support at least 20 cm above ground to prevent rusting. The cell containing SCP-430 is to be fitted with an adjustable table, a sand basin, a controllable two-position hook conveyor system, and a master-slave control system as specified in Document 430 Gamma. Construction details. One cell adjacent to SCP-430 is to house a live D-Class subject, designated SCP-430-C, whose suitability was ensured by enacting Protocol Prometheus-11 prior to their internment. SCP-430-C is to be treated in accordance with Foundation Humanoid Containment Guidelines Section NP1. Suitable SCP-430-C candidates are nonviolent, introverted, and capable of carrying out simple tasks without supervision, with claustrophobia being a disqualifying factor. Other cells adjacent to SCP-430 containment are to be designated long-term low-value item storage. See Site-17 Floor Plan Section IJ-23. The set of cells adjacent to SCP-430 is designated SCP-433. While SCP-430 contains a living subject, designated SCP-432, such SCP-432 is to be treated in accordance with Foundation Humanoid Containment Guidelines, Section NP5. Except as following. Routine medical examinations of SCP-432 are to take place weekly, rather than monthly. SCP-432 is to be fitted with a heart rate monitor. Due to restricted movement, SCP-432 is to be fed an individualized diet as per recommendations of a qualified member of Site-17 medical staff. SCP-432 is to be administered daily doses of aspirin to prevent vein thrombosis. SCP-432 is to be encouraged to perform light exercise within the limits of SCP-430's allowance. While no Foundation staff is present in the containment cell, SCP-432 is to have control of the table position, the lighting and the hook conveyor system by means of the slave controller, unless deemed otherwise by staff of Clearance 1/430 or higher. This controller is to be disabled from the main control panel prior to staff entering SCP-430 containment. SCP-432 is to be explained the functioning of the controls, and be ordered to transport their cell above the sand basin prior to urination or defecation. The sand basin is to be cleaned daily. In the case of SCP-432 expiring, as represented by the lack of signal from SCP-432 heart rate monitor coupled with visual confirmation, no personnel is to enter SCP-433 until visual feed confirms the presence of former SCP-430. See inside SCP-430. Subsequently, the remains of previous SCP-432 are to be removed from SCP-430, and the new SCP-432 briefed.